Denso Manufacturing.
Andy Story, I'm the manager of institutional facilities for Kellogg Community College.
And I'm Jim Curry, just an old conservation, hanging out.
And I'm Chaz Wilkie, I'm DPW director for the city of Springfield.
All right. Well, thank you for coming. I know it's hard to, it used to be so easy to just click off, and now I'm in a meeting and yeah, anyway,
I
so.
have to plan ahead and drive.
Yes, so, well, all right, I don't think we don't have a quorum, so we'll just go about our business here without the approvals, but if you see any edits or things you would like to change, just let me know on the minutes and we'll approve that next time, and then the agenda here, if there's anything you want to add. But otherwise, we'll just get into it. I've got the budget here. We haven't spent a lot so far. Oh gosh, I printed off the 2021. I'll just pull it up here. I'll send you later. We had a potluck and it got out of sorts this morning. So there's the budget. We'll pull it up here. All right. So what we've spent so far, we had a bill stuffer printed, and I can pull up what that was. So one side of it, this went out in February and March, and it was just kind of, groundwater protection on one side, and then we did the rain barrel sale on the other. Where is it? Had that pulled up too, but. But anyway, the rain barrel sale, we're doing it earlier this year because people want it when it's raining, right? And so this is the front, that's the other side. So it's going on right now, and we're getting some we've sold, I think, like 20 some rain barrels, and then we're taking this for the first time this year. We tacked on an $8 charge onto the rain barrel, and then that will go back to this fund for education or whatever we want to put it towards. So all the other organizations that are doing rain barrel sales are doing a similar thing. So, and then if you haven't seen the rain barrel sale, this is what it is here. And they come in different colors, and they're kind of cool because they're old, they're food barrels. And so like the terracotta ones have like Greek lettering on it because they're for olives and olive oil and stuff. So it's kind of neat that some of them smell like pickles when they show up, but back to the budget here. But so we've spent some money on that this year so far, and the radios ads are still continuing, and we're rotating. We're doing like a lot of stormwater work stuff, and then education about the household hazardous waste collections and that sort of thing. We have some display materials back at Lakeview Square Mall on some water related things here in the city. I'm not sure, it's cheap and it's just another place to get the word out. I don't know how many people are seeing it, but it's one other venue for us. So, and then we had talked about the $200 potentially will be a match for that grant that we applied for some boats for river cleanup, and we'll get back to that too. So not a lot happening with the budget right now, but to make you aware of that. Bessie's not here today, but I will share the updates on the Children's Water Festival. So far she has 436 students registered, which is more than last year. You should have that form too here. 6 different schools, and then I think she's having the cutoff date for the registration in a couple weeks. So hopefully we'll get more students. And next year we're hoping to get back at KCC again. I hope.
Yeah, for the water festival.
Yeah. This year it was just when we were starting to plan, just too much unknown at the time. So
We're open.
okay.
Count us in.
Okay. All right.
Gonna be this like same as last year, they drop the totes off at the schools and okay.
Yep. So Bessie, I think we'll be looking for help with delivery, and then
We typically take the Penfield ones.
okay. All right.
So you can add us for that. And then, I mean, I'm sure if there's others that need to be, we can help with other ones too.
Okay, great. Yep.
You can
That
add
is
us
there.
for all Springfield.
Okay.
Patty will take care of those.
I think I did Lakeview last year. I can do that.
Okay.
I'm sure Bessie will email.
Yep, she will. She knows where to find you. So, okay. All right. And then she's gonna ask for help too with packing totes, but I know some of the Math and Science Center kids were looking to do some help with this too. So yeah, and so that's coming along. She's still getting organized, and she's getting some great sponsorship too. So I think she's up to like maybe $3,500 in sponsorships already. So yeah. So that's that. And then she wanted me to mention the mayor's challenge, the water conservation challenge, and we'll send out more information, but it's basically an online pledge, and it's just you compete against other municipalities on resident involvement in water conservation. So we'll send out more information on that too.
Is that part of the watershed festival or?
No, it's just a separate thing, the Wyland Foundation.
Oh.
So
is this, I remember doing it before, like maybe a year ago or so, is it the same, like you just
yep, it's
like
an annual
re-pledge
thing.
every year?
Yes.
Cause you make pledges, I think, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
yep. So, any questions on the water festival or?
Do you have a date, Patty?
She's doing it the first, it's like how it is like the first week in May, I believe. And the teachers can kind of do it on their own time frame since we're dropping off these totes with activities in it. So the teachers seemed to like it last year, but
When do you
It's-
think the drop-offs will be, Patty, for those totes?
she's targeting packing like the next to last week in April.
Okay.
And so probably the last week in April,
Okay,
we'll get the deliveries going.
sounds good.
So, yeah. Upcoming events, we've got a lot going on in the next couple months. Saturdays, our styrofoam collection here at DPW is supposed to rain and be cold. So, we're doing that from 8 to 11. Got a lot of volunteers. In fact, we're at the point where we're turning them away, which is unheard of.
Mhm.
So, yeah, but we'll see when Saturday morning rolls around and it's raining. So, but- yeah.
Some cancellations.
Yes, so that's on tap, and then Wednesday is Scrap Tire. And that's an afternoon evening event from 3 to 6. Not as many volunteers for that one. So
That's a harder event.
it
there,
really
for
is,
sure.
yeah.
I've done many of them, so I know past experience.
They're rough. So last year we did it in July and it was so hot. We were like, we're never doing it in the heat of the summer again, but we'll see. So that's coming up. And then the mayor's challenge that I just mentioned. Rain barrel sales going on until the end of March, and then we'll have pickup here on April 5th. Electronics and appliance collection, that's going to be at Bailey Park, and that's a county event. That's coming together. That's going to be, they're doing their events during the week this year. So it's going to be is it a Wednesday from noon to 5:30. And
What's the date on it?
April 14th. And they're taking batteries, electronics, appliances with Freon, I believe, and scrap metal.
Did Battle Creek used to do that?
Not-
collection, Patty?
We did electronics.
That's what I thought.
Yep, we
Okay.
did one, gosh.
Yep.
We do electronics in the fall. We'll do
Yeah,
one in September.
See, I remember doing it when Tiffany was down here. I remember
Okay.
helping her do the electronics. I wasn't sure if you guys still did that or not.
Yep, we
Okay.
do. We do one of those a year, and last year we had the county one here in the
Okay.
spring, so
Where's that gonna be, Patty?
Bailey Park.
Oh, it's gonna be big.
Yeah. Yep.
Plenty of room out there for that. for
Yeah,
sure.
yes, yeah, that'll be good. And then April 18th is the county's household hazardous waste collection at Bailey Park too. So I know the county was having some trouble with vendors this year, so just wasn't able to secure them. But I think I think they're still saying tentative, but I think we can, anyway. We're talking.
Is that gonna be at the county building?
Nope, that is at Bailey Park too.
Okay.
Yep. So. And then, let's see, in June, we're getting, it mentioned that, so the pollinator planting that went in along Jackson Street, along the linear park. That got planted back in, it was late, it was November, or December, the seeding. And then we also, from that grant, have some funding for some native plant plugs. So we're gonna get those, I think it'll be like 720 plants. And so they're coming in sometime in June. So we'll be looking for volunteers to plant those, just to help kind of get the planting looking good quicker. So,
Is the plugs gonna be planted in the same place that the fall planting was done?
yeah, we're gonna kind of select some more visible areas to put those in. So,
That's great.
yeah,
It's gonna be so nice for the people for
yeah,
it comes along,
yep,
that stuff comes up.
I know.
Has some of it come up?
I just looked, it was just yesterday I looked and I haven't seen anything popping up yet.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they should come up.
It's starting to get warm now.
I know.
Warmer out, they'll start.
yes, yep. July 31st is the end of this year's photo contest. So if you got any photos you want to submit or pass that along. Bessie's been getting, we got several so far, but not a ton yet. So in fact, if you notice, these are some of the past.
Cool.
Yeah, we just got those framed
Oh,
in the last couple months. So,
good stuff.
yeah.
Yeah, the past calendar was really nice. What, last year?
Yeah, Bessie takes credit for that, so. So we're gonna do the farmer's market again. We're targeting 6 times out at the farmer's market. We'll do 2 times with stormwater, 2 times wellhead protection, and then 2 times with our recycling education. So we were talking about, I wanted to run this by this group to spend some of the funds to purchase one of the rain barrels and have it as a giveaway at the end of the season. So if people come and visit our booth, they can drop their name in a bucket or, you know, and then at the end of the year, we could have a rain barrel to give away.
It's a good idea.
I like it.
Okay.
Where's the farmer's market here?
It's down at McCamley right in front of McCamley Hotel.
They do it Saturdays?
They do it on Wednesdays.
Wednesdays.
Yep, from 9 to 1.
It's nice to do some of the educational events. What, are you gonna do handouts?
We do different things. We'll probably take this year. We've done, Bessie made the spinning wheels with questions. And so people come up and we rotate the questions. Sometimes there's stormwater, depending on what the topic is that day.
Yeah.
And then even if they just come up and talk to us, and do that, they'll take away a prize of some sort. So it's been kind of fun. People like free stuff.
Do you take that or do you have a standing picture?
We haven't taken this yet because we got this at the end of the season last year. And then the first year, they didn't want anything that was really right in the heart of COVID, and they didn't want anybody touching anything.
yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so that's what we're doing there. If anybody wants to stop by and help the booth, that'd be great. So, and then grants. We've got we applied for the Battle Creek Community Foundation Linear Park Improvements. I don't know if you remember that one. It was for, we were gonna do an invasive species survey along the river, benches, dog waste stations, trees, and we ended up not getting much at all. We requested 26,000 and got 1,500. Because of the funding cycle, we were at the end of the year and they have limited funds. So we took that money and I think we're gonna get a bench. And then, but we did find out that there's another fund at the Community Foundation for trees. So we're gonna get about $4,000 for trees along the linear park. And then we're applying for another Community Foundation grant. I just submitted it just before you guys got here for the invasive species survey. So they said that it's probably better just to send things off in smaller chunks, more definitive.
Separate them out.
Yeah, yep. So,
You guys qualify for the village?
yes.
You guys do, so like the linear park?
Yep, so they're gonna use the funding from the first millage to pave from, oh gosh, like right out here at Kendall, I think down, they're only gonna get about a block
Yeah.
for that
Yeah.
funding, but yep, so it's a lot of, yeah.
But if they wanted to, I mean, that pollinator thing is really important and that would look good to them. if you guys ever think about just doing a little bit of jiggling. And just to ask, who controls it? Is it the park?
For,
Is it Battle Creek Parks that control?
I think it,
requests?
well, field services is,
Okay.
who's getting,
Yeah.
you know, allotting the money
So if
here.
you
for
know
us.
somebody there, I mean, it's something that Doug Farrell, the County Parks Director, and others thinks is a high priority.
Okay,
So if they're interested to take a little bit of that off and to put some toward something like an improvement like that, that seems, that is seen to be something really beneficial to the broad community. So, I mean, and that's not to take away from paving it, because I know how important that is, but a little bit off of that would help you guys, because
Yeah.
that's seen all over. I mean, there's so many people. So
right,
just, yeah.
Yeah.
Think on it. see
Yep.
what you think.
5-year millage, right? So there'll be. money coming,
Yeah, and there'll be an opportunity every year
Mhm.
or something, or you can save up and do one big one.
Yep, okay.
Yep.
Good ideas, yep.
Well, and this is terrible, but now that you're a parks commissioner, you can talk to Doug Farrell directly and do some sneaky things. So
So that's that grant, and then the MyCor River Cleanup Grant, that was the one for the 2 boats for future river cleanup, so we'll probably find out about that one pretty soon, but it would be really nice. We had so many tires in the river. Just, yeah, I don't know why people find that's the best place to dispose of them, but
Because no one sees it outside that line.
yeah.
Worst place to try to retrieve them.
Oh, I know, I know. It's really- So that's, we're waiting on that, and then I just, like I said, submitted the invasive species survey grant to the Community Foundation, and that's, we'll probably find out about that in a couple months too. So I wanted to show you, I don't know if you guys had seen the Enviroscape before, but this is the, yeah, they're pretty cool. So it's got this plastic, so you can, this goes underneath it to catch the water, but you can set up this whole kind of a town here. I didn't pull out all the pieces, but you got trucks and fences and trees, and so there's a golf course here, and then a plug goes in here. And you sprinkle like, so say for fertilizer, you can just use like green sugar cookie sprinkles, and then dog poop, you can put little, you know,
Chocolate chips.
chocolate, yep, exactly, and then grass clippings and brown, you know, cocoa for the farm fields, and then you just spray, we have spray bottles, and it shows where things run off of the land into the river, and then the lake ends up all polluted, but kids love it, because they get to spray it, and you can then
Actually
show, you
see
can,
how it works.
pardon?
So yeah, you can actually see how. it
Yeah,
works.
it's pretty cool. And then you can also put in some best management practices. So you show what happens when things aren't done correctly, and then you can put in like buffer strips near the farm fields and then also little grass, you know, buffer strips along the golf course, and you know, you can put pollution coming out of the industry here, and so it's pretty cool. So you can show, if you do some best management practices on the land, how it impacts the surface water too. So if you guys ever want to borrow this for anything, I know the Math and Science Center borrowed it once, and kids really liked it, so it's here for all of us to use. So have you used one?
Yeah, we have one.
Yeah.
At work. So we, as part of our orientation for all new hires, I don't know if they're still doing it, but they used to do a little demonstration, because we would stress basically like your car in our parking lot, because all that goes right down the storm drain. So making sure you're not leaking oil and stuff out of your car, and what drains we have on our property that go right to the creek. And then we labeled them like the Kalamazoo River and Lake Michigan, so they know it goes all the way out to Lake Michigan.
That's a really good idea. Yeah. We do like videos, educational video, but I like that idea for new hires. That's really cool.
You guys have to train the people so when you give this to someone, do you make sure that they're trained? Or-
Well, I walked them through it, and then there's this great guide here, and then lots of online videos too. So to show different, you know, scenarios you can present to. So yeah, ever want it? It's here. So yeah.
Cool.
And then I wanted to show you, so the Math and Science Center, Stephen Lewis, their kids did they did chloride monitoring for, where is he now? For the winter, because they're located right on the Battle Creek River there. And so they had an opportunity to just go out and grab, where's this video? See if I can find it back here. I have it pulled up. Where is it? Oh, here it is. So there are these test strips, and it's just a simple little, literally like a little paper test strip, and you collect a sample from the river and you set the chloride strip in it, and then it'll record different levels of chloride. So he's going to walk us through what they found here, since he has conferences today. So I'll see if I can get that. Oh. He was going along until I turned up the volume. No, why it's not working. Any suggestions, anyone? Wonder if I can try and download it again. Okay.
Initially, we got about 5 tests that was an initial notes that kind of different things on data. We found that really wasn't much. So only know why some of the levels were a little bit higher than others. Didn't like without that, there was things that were calculating on next year. For this guys to want sure that this is next year as well. What we end up finding out about like what's happening with the rise from the levels that higher than others, the river levels. But when we did get into snow melt events, we found that the levels actually did go up, so there is definitely a correlation there. But we still haven't really analyzed it too much in terms of like looking at the carbon map and all that. So hopefully next time we get into one, we share out a little bit more detail. Or at the very least, share things with like that. Get all the information that we have out, even if we're not sure. What we did find out is that the level of salt is are here. That's very, very clear. There was that that happened. That we actually did of the salt levels. I think just looking at those last couple of times there, that third last data point we got, as far as I'm aware, there was no prior to that or the week prior to that. So that last one, I have got to that's the reason for the want to look at there is just trying to figure out and also for next year, my goal is to start with as many times here on Twitter and Facebook. So all the days we're not looking at. There's a couple of things that you want to also look at. And then, you want to know how much salt I think that's where much of the actual salt is grows. And then seeing exactly all of But hopefully next time I'll have more details. I am not necessarily a staff person, but I'm going to be looking to and getting some, all of the data, posting something that's a little bit more, I don't know, whatnot. But hopefully we have some good data that you guys can use and look forward to it.
Sorry, the volume. I turned up everything I could turn up here, but did you get anything out of that? Could you hear it? Yeah. So kind of interesting, you've probably been reading about all the increased salt levels in the surface water. So it's kind of interesting to monitor it, but talking to field services here, right now, their equipment, like they're talking about using, brine and beet juice. You probably thought about the same thing, but their equipment just isn't geared up for that right now. So we're kind of stuck for the short term. Are you similar situation? Yeah.
Yeah, I know when I worked for the city of Battle Creek, we tried beet juice and brine. We mixed it with the salt to activate the salt faster. But we had a problem with the tanks because you can't, it's the beet juice didn't want to come out of the sprayers and stuff like that. We're having
is that
issues
right?
with it, yeah.
Okay.
So I think they're still trying to figure out what system that they can spray that beet juice with, but definitely something, because you figure out how much salt you're putting on the roads and it's gonna add up.
It goes somewhere, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But boy, when it's icy out, you want those roads
Oh,
clear
yeah,
too,
exactly.
so, yeah. So anyway, it's just kind of interesting and, yeah. And I've been going out, I grab samples out here on the Kalamazoo River occasionally, but nothing like their data set, so.
What class is that for?
I don't know if it's one of his classes or if he just has, because they have a break, a long break, so I don't know, that's a good question.
Just doing it, so.
Yeah,
Are the levels high, Patty, when you take the samples?
not really,
No?
no, I think 50 was the highest I had, so,
Okay.
yeah, and it's funny, we also do phosphorus monitoring, we just started doing that last year for our MS4 permit for the TMDL that's at Lake Allegan. And Battle Creek River definitely has higher concentrations than the Kalamazoo. So we
Okay.
do it right before the confluence of, we do it on the Battle Creek River and then the Kalamazoo River, and then when they're mixed in, Battle Creek River concentrations are higher with phosphorus, and it's looking like with chloride as well. So
Do you have a tolerance level, like do you try to stay under?
for phosphorus,
Yeah, or chloride?
no.
You just take the samples?
Yeah,
Okay.
phosphorus for the TMDL, they have to meet a certain level in Lake Allegan, so it's everything contributing
I gotcha.
upstream from Lake Allegan, and
Okay.
Lake Allegan has a limit, but we're not necessarily limited here. The wastewater treatment plant does, but not just
Yeah, okay,
out here, so lower's better.
yeah, exactly.
So, yeah, so
Well, it's
yeah,
good to see them doing that. And
Yeah.
I wonder if they've done anything since the oil spill.
at the Math and Science Center, or
Yeah. Because that's interesting. just to see if
Yeah.
There's anything, if there's anything they're observing that's left over. There's so many things that they were trying to figure out. And what part of the oil was coming from other sources, not the oil spill.
right,
The things they were able to do for that was pretty amazing. They did while that was occurring from 2010 up until about 18 or 20. But the that whole hydrological model they did for that part of the river, which I think in the future, if there's real problems or a catastrophe like that model will really help. We learned a lot, from that. Pretty amazing that didn't realize that the upwelling from the groundwater kept most of that oil in the channel, because that during the oil spill, that was at flood stage in July, which was really unusual, and we're so worried it was going to get down. But the upwelling kept the oil in the channel and away from the tributaries. So most of the fish got up into the upper out of the river and up into the streams, which was pretty amazing.
Yeah.
But they learned a lot, about what that was. So some good things came from the catastrophe. But it's good to see them doing this.
Yeah, it's fun. And if you have other ideas, I can't speak for Steven, but I know he's always up for, that kind of stuff. So if there's some other things you can think of that might be good to monitor out there. So, yeah. Well, I have you here. I'm going to show you our little. Where did it? And these are for you guys to use too. I don't know if you've ever seen our little videos that we had made, and we're getting another one made by the same artist for groundwater or just water conservation. Here we go. Okay, here they are. Here's the first one. Well, there you go. Thank you.
Yeah, that's a classic. Never dumping in the bun.
Okay, there we go.
Let those chemicals and medicines down the drain that could seep into the soil. Dumps oil, pesticides, and fuels into rivers and lakes. Floods dumping contaminates groundwater, the very source of our drinking water. That's tough, costly, and sometimes impossible to clean up. Don't be like Bud. Protect the drinking water we all need, and dispose of household hazardous waste properly. Learn how at bcwater.org and nib dumping in the bud.
Well, that's the first one, and then here's the follow-up.
Who's doing this?
This is Bud. Bud's learned the importance of protecting our drinking water. Bud never lets oils or chemicals soak in the ground or run down storm drains. Bud uses green cleaners. Bud limits pesticides on the lawn and puts pet waste in the trash so harmful bacteria won't contaminate the groundwater, the source of our drinking water. Bud visits bcwater.org for safe disposal options for unused meds and hazardous waste. Be a Bud. Help keep our water clean for everybody.
So, yep, there's an artist out of Kalamazoo that did the graphics, and then Green Street Marketing did the animation. So we had those running at the movie theaters and then online, like some Google ads too. So if you guys want to link those to your websites or anything, those are there to use. So, and then we've got our events calendar here. If you guys are ever wondering about dates of things and what's going on, and we'd be happy to post any of your stuff on here too. So let us know if there's anything you have going on that you want to advertise too. So yeah, next year, the Eagle's going to be doing an audit on our MS4 permit. So we're going to make sure we met with Brad a while ago, back in the fall about that, just to make sure we're all in compliance, and it'll be coming up before we know it. So yeah, just making sure all our records are up to date and we got everything we said we were supposed to be doing done. So yeah, but we're in pretty good shape. I think I've got some follow-up to do with Federal Center and a couple of the schools, but I think, I'll be in touch on that stuff too. So yeah, guys have any news to report or anything?
I think probably Cheryl would probably want to say something. Cheryl Vosman. about Morrow Dam and the.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So Patty, you know about that more than even I do. That might be worth mentioning. That's interesting to see what they want to do. And I guess they're going for some legislative law,
Yeah,
and that looks like that's going to come forward because that was just terrible.
so he's,
After the oil spill, we cleaned all that up. And luckily that stopped at Morrow Dam. And then they've got the PCBs problem from there on down. But the operators of the dam,
are you familiar with what he's talking about? There's a Morrow Lake.
impoundment,
Yeah, so it's been what, a year, 2 years now, I
Yeah.
think.
yeah,
That they did a drawdown, they had to do dam repairs, and when they did the drawdown, they released a whole bunch of sediment
That's not
down
good.
into the Kalamazoo
and they
River.
left it open.
Yeah, and
Which
the
was
pictures
crazy.
are crazy, like,
So hundreds of thousands of gallons of sediment. And the sediments just started moving down. It was, the downstream they've been doing a lot of control from dams from downstream of Morrow Dam. And the sediment just came back in and covered up all kinds of habitat. And it's a disaster because now it's just kept moving down. There's no way that should have ever been handled that way. And once it was done, once the opening was done, I was shocked because our own environmental department, Eagle, couldn't shut
I
it
gotta
down.
pull up some
It was
pictures.
crazy. So
Facebook Kalamazoo River watershed. Yeah, they're saying, in some areas, you shouldn't even get out of your, like, if you're in kayaking or canoeing, you shouldn't even get out of there because the sediment is so deep, like, yeah, if we can see it there. There were some really good pictures on here. Yeah, there's some pictures there, but yes, there's, they're trying to come up with a new legislation it's a mess.
just seems very, very strange that after a major oil spill like we had,
Something like that
10
would
years
happen.
ago, that something like this would happen and that you couldn't put a stop to it within the first day or two.
Mhm.
And then the responsible party they're not doing anything, so.
So the legislation is to regulate more on the dams and when they can and can't be, like, require permits or something, or.
I think
notification of approvals.
doesn't it allow Eagle to go in quicker and start taking some action,
Yeah.
so, yeah.
It's very strange because in this case, EPA, which came in last time, doesn't have responsibility there, so it did. But it seems very strange that either one couldn't have. It just doesn't make any sense. With the oil spill, EPA was on its way within the first couple hours.
Yeah.
And once they arrived here, they took control and they basically stopped it at Morrow Dam within about 6 days. They had it corralled. They started cleaning there because they didn't want the oil to meet the PCBs because it would have been even worse. And so they were able to stop it. And for this to go on even a few days, this went on for 1.5 years, 2 years before they finally got them to shut the thing down. So yeah, that's a major thing.
So,
The only thing we really have going on in Springfield, Patty, is we're replacing 3 pretty good sized culverts. So one will be on Lafayette Street, near 24th Street. We got a 4-foot culvert there that we're replacing. And then we got 2 6-foot culverts out on Tecumseh, which is Tecumseh or General Avenue out by Beck Park.
Okay,
That runs down through Helmer Creek there
okay,
and dumps into Beaver Dam down there. We're replacing those culverts this year.
okay,
And the one in Lafayette there. So those are pretty good sized projects. Right now, they're 4-foot culverts out there, and Eagles requesting us to bump them up to 6-foot culverts to handle all the extra rainwater and stuff that's coming down the stream there. So
Okay.
got that project in in motion. The design is complete on Lafayette Street. We're still finishing up the design for Tecumseh out there though, so. We're hoping we should be able to put those out for bid hopefully by July or so.
Should we expect it to be completed this year?
Yeah, this late fall.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Alright. And then we were talking about your grant out there. Is that coming into play yet? The
Around the Spring Lake.
yeah, yep.
Yeah, we walked. It's gone out of my hands. I'm not part of it anymore. We walked with them and whatnot, with three people came out. I forget what their names were. But we went out, we walked all the way around Spring Lake. They really like it. They think it won't take much for us to beautify it a bit more. There's not a whole lot of invasive species that we would have to actually get rid of.
That's
There's
nice.
only like one little spot. Just a few things here and there. So that's what was also like very.
That's
positive.
surprising.
Yes, yes, very
Yeah.
much surprising. So
Spring Lake, and I'm sorry, I'm dumb about that. Where is it?
our lake, Spring Lake,
Yeah.
the lake by KCC.
Oh, okay, so it's that
Yeah.
solid lake right behind.
Yep.
Or north of,
But the linear path kind of.
Yeah, the linear
Okay.
path goes around.
the one with the cattails mostly
Yeah.
around it.
Mhm.
All right, yeah.
And then that lake feeds the front pond that's right at North Ave.
Okay.
So we have a culvert that goes
Empties
from Spring Lake under our huge parking lot, cuts across, dumps into the front pond. That one is actually attached to the pond across the street, across North Avenue,
Okay,
the city, and then the
city.
city actually controls the level of our ponds with their
yeah,
whatever.
that's interesting. I didn't know
We were
that.
there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a pretty little lake that we want back there.
Yeah, so, yeah, it's nice. We like it.
It's hard to see though from the.
And that's what we wanna do. There's like a spot where they're looking at doing a lookout where you can clear out some stuff, but they like leaving the standing dead trees and stuff for
Yeah,
roosting and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But
We
what
made
we
them-
want, we actually, because a lot of people they do haul kayaks out there, but there's no like real
Access.
no real clear spot, which we want to like let's make a clear cut here, here's a kayak launch.
there's a problem that we experienced in the ponds across the street in the city, because we would clean those every year. Yeah, we would, we'd pick up paper and everything.
Mhm.
And we made a mistake of taking the brush down from around that lake. And they've had a problem with geese ever since.
Well, what's the problem with them?
So they.
We have geese all over our property, so I mean, it's not, it
Yeah.
doesn't matter. Like that's.
Well,
not- That's just
so the
part of
last
it. You got
couple
water,
years-
you're gonna have geese.
Yeah. Well, when we had the brush, we didn't have the geese coming up on the areas around the buildings and things anywhere near as much.
Oh, they stay away from our buildings. They just stay right in
Yeah.
right up by in between the two ponds. Well, three ponds, I guess. So R2 and then the one across the street.
I'm
across
just
North
wondering
Ave.
if you experienced many geese around Spring Lake itself. I'm,
Not around it, no,
okay,
They just
that was a
travel.
problem. They came up,
no. They like our front yard a lot.
oh, yeah.
They're there an awful lot. That's pretty much where they stay.
Anyway, I think the only sad thing we felt like is we made a mistake in taking the brush down. But we weren't trying to open up to for kayaking or anything. Maybe if it's just limited and you can get it.
Yeah, we just
access
want
in.
like a clear.
Yeah,
Here it
Yeah,
is. We
which
would
would be
like to
nice.
clear it up some like on like the KCC building side, just to make it a little more pleasing to the eye, if you will.
Yeah.
I mean, because right now it's like, man, you guys it's just, you don't do anything. It just looks
but we always loved it, but we could never see it.
Yeah.
right, and that's what we want, you know,
Yeah.
to see it. Because we have some historical pictures that we have up in some of our hallways and stuff, and we have one that's two people in a canoe, and you can see the rural building, but like C building and the library and stuff wasn't done yet, and that lake is just, there's nothing to the edges. It's this lake and then hill and then building,
Wow,
and it's all open.
yeah,
we're like, I like that.
No, it's nice. Cattails are a good
Yeah,
plant, but.
Yep.
Yeah.
yeah, and I mean, it
That's
it helps the
interesting.
environment and everything else. We just want to be able to make it a little more user friendly to actually use it. You know,
Yeah.
Get out on it and use it. I mean, I'm not one for kayaking, so.
I'm trying to picture how big that is, like for kayaking. Is it pretty good size?
I mean, I don't know what the dimensions
Yeah.
of it are, but yeah, when you see a kayak out there, I'm sure you can make a good use of it, and there's
Yeah.
good fishing in it,
Oh,
so.
wow.
I think
Oh.
that might,
That's
there's ice fishers, ice
Oh.
fishing all the time out on it.
Really? That's fun. Huh, well, that's cool.
Then last year, they cleared off a big spot, had built the hockey rink,
Oh, my God.
so there's kids out there all the time,
That's,
so they're all playing.
huh. Getting a lot of use out of it, I bet.
So the Irving Park Pond feeds Spring Lake.
Nah, no, Spring Lake's spring fed
Okay, I mean, you're,
from, but
okay,
we feed,
I got you.
yeah,
Okay,
the feed comes from, yeah.
Which
from
probably
the feed.
really helps that set,
oh, yeah.
you know.
Flush that thing out,
Yeah,
yeah,
because that's got ducks and
Oh, man,
geese. and
Yeah.
It's,
it's always been bad down there.
And once we get a few good days of rain, we'll notice our front pond start rising, then that'll leak out to the sidewalk and then the north end.
I never knew there was a culvert that ran
Yep.
over all the way over there.
Yep, they're all in a chain. I think it even goes one more and then it goes to the river. But all I know is, yeah, if we're about to flood over, we just call them and then within hours. it's back down.
Anything new at Denzo?
No, nothing that is affecting the environment really.
So. All right, well, appreciate you guys making the trip over, and Bessie will be in touch for help with the Children's Water Festival, I'm thinking, sure,
very
so,
good.
all right.
Patty, what time is it?
It's like 4:15.
It's 4:15.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I should've- 5:15. Then we're both in trouble, aren't we? Yep, so,